When thinking of what video I'd make this week, I kept thinking of a documentary that I watched that took place in many different remote regions of the United States, mainly national parks. And it struck me just how truly beautiful America is. It's this amazing place. I've been on a couple cross-country motorcycle trips and I've witnessed it firsthand. And if you get rid of the unfortunate byproducts of cities, which would be their people, most people in America, especially the rural parts, are wonderful. They're generous, kind, warm, helpful. They'll give you the shirt off their back in a heartbeat. They're moral and sane. As I track my political journey across my life, and specifically over the last 5 years, while I definitely have become wiser and more knowledgeable, I'm also finding myself to be more extreme, more black and white, more desperate to find a solution to our national problems. And I do all of that because I am a patriot, and I do love my country. I do love the land, and I do appreciate what we have. And it eats me up inside that we have these incompetent, corrupt, despotic, and evil leaders who are pillaging our country and its people. And as I watched shot after shot of amazing footage of our national parks, I kept thinking that they don't deserve it. And they don't deserve us. They don't deserve to rule over this land or over us. I've always said that if we moved the capital down to the border, immigration would stop almost immediately. Mark Levin has suggested that we move tax day to the day before elections. That way, the real-life consequences of who you elect is fresh in your mind. There is something to be said of the distance between two things. The farther you are away from something, the less you know, the less you care, the less you can even grasp conceptually about that topic. To be alone in a vast wilderness, to hear only the wind blowing and the birds chirping, to see the trees and the tall, uncut grass sway back and forth, or to look out over a huge expanse of land, gives you an appreciation of this country that you just don't get when you live in D.C., with its 69 square miles of concrete, where you can't even see the stars at night from your gated community. To your job, which requires an hour-and-a-half commute where you just stare at the back of someone else's car the whole time. And when you finally get to your job, it's full of lying, cheating, swindling, affair-having, ladder-climbing backstabbers. Forget everything else. Just think of what the effect on humanity is when we can't even see the stars at night. I'm in a city, and we can still see some stars, but I've been out in the middle of nowhere, where you can see the entire Milky Way across the sky. It's breathtaking. It's almost a spiritual experience. But what about everyone in New York City who can barely see anything in the sky? What's the long-term effects on that? But I digress. We can even look at the distance between now and when the Constitution was formed. Supposedly time heals all wounds, but it can also create new ones. Our leaders now can only reference the founding documents in passing during their worthless platitudes. Life, liberty, and you know the thing. It's a million miles away. It's irrelevant. It's become an all-out war for absolute power, which requires absolute tyranny and absolute censorship and absolute corruption, winning at any cost, even if it means the people hate you. It's like they're daring us to take power away from them. They know they're pushing, and we know that they're pushing it, but they know we're too squishy to do anything about it because they've made us that way. They can still enrich themselves a little longer till things get too bad and we inevitably revolt. But it's a damn shame because America is like a dead animal on the side of the road. Whenever they say, "We're America, we can afford to do X, Y, and Z," it's like the vultures saying, "Hey, there's still meat on the bone." We haven't been pillaged enough yet for us to get angry about it, but when we do, America will be a skeleton of its former self, hollowed out by greedy and corrupt assholes who never cared about traditions or customs or history or the land or the people. None of it matters to them, just how much they could take. It's sad. That was my thoughts for today. They don't deserve us. They don't deserve what they've inherited. They've thrown it all away on purpose. Anyways, that's all the time I have for today. If you enjoy this video and type of content I'm making, consider giving this video a like or maybe subscribing. I will see you all in the next video. Peace.